Richard Branson has a number of events where he invites different entrepreneurs to come, once in a while. So I've been there a few times, took my family as well, which was really exciting. I have a number of different stories about the experience with Necker, but I'll tell the very first one that actually happened the first time I met Richard Branson, and it was on the day that I arrived, and I was like, oh great, we're going to actually meet up with Richard tonight and stuff like that, and I've got the day I can relax. And so I go down to the pool, and there's a margarita bar, and like, when you go to Necker, everything's just free, right? So it's like, oh, I might as well go have a margarita. So I go up, and there's Richard just having a margarita right by the bar, and I'm like, oh, hello. And he's like, oh, hi, who are you? So I say who I am. I talk about Bali. He goes, I've been to Bali, I went to the Green School. And I'm like, hey, well, I set up the board of the Green School. My kids went to the Green School. He's like, And then he's like, well, look, like Green School's a non-profit, isn't it? And I go, yeah, that's right. And he goes, well, I'm thinking with Virgin Unite, it's very difficult trying to figure out how to be a non-profit, but also how to be entrepreneur at the same time, get the team on board. What's been your experience? What would be your advice on something like that? And so then I'm like, oh, well, here's what we found out. Here's what I'd suggest. And so now, and then we're 5 minutes into the conversation, and I find myself already within 5 minutes advising a billionaire, right? And it made me think, wait, how did this happen that within such a short period of time, here I am advising Richard Branson? And I found out, like, very quickly, that's just how he does it with everybody. Like, that his whole focus is on opening up the opportunity for people to help him. And it really struck me that in so many businesses that we have, including in my businesses as well, we all really want to have stuff sorted out. We want to have stuff handled. We want to figure stuff out for ourselves. And so we're so busy trying to solve things on our own, we don't open the opportunity for other people to help us. This is so he has something which I call learned incompetence, right? Learned incompetence is the opposite of competence. It's like when you say, right, I'm going to figure all this stuff out, and then you wonder why no one's actually helping you to figure it out. And it's because they can see that you're the one that's trying to figure it all out. Whereas in his case, it's like, I don't have it all figured out. Like, what's the right way? Even though he most likely has got many ideas way, way better than anyone who's asking. But the fact that he actually opens up that space to allow people to actually then come in. Nature hates a vacuum. They're always going to find a way in. And that one thing that I got from him, when I then went back and started working, not just with teams, but also with partners, with everyone else around, and started from that place, which is like, hey, here's where we are and here's where we're trying to get to, and make it big enough by saying, and I really don't know what's the best way to get there. What do you think? And open up that vacuum. Nature then fills up that vacuum every time. What most of us do is we do the opposite. We actually start with a small dream, or we start with a small goal that we know that we can achieve. And when we start with something that already is in our realm of knowing, there's no space for anyone else to come in and help us, which is why we never get the help we need as well.